Hey guys, it's Carter. Welcome back to the best investing money management channel on YouTube. Now in today's video, we are looking at the top 5 ETFs to buy in 2023. Now I know you might be saying, well Carter, we still have a month. Hey, I always think it's smart to go into the new year with some sort of strategy or game plan so you can make as much money as possible. So we're going to be breaking down all these ETFs, so I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys get anything in value out of the video, hit the like button, subscribe. So let's jump into it. Now before we talk about the top 5 ETFs, what is an ETF? Well, in the short term, an ETF is pretty much just a pool of different stocks, bonds, commodities. Me personally, I love ETFs because instead of investing into one individual stock, you can get diversification with a whole bunch of investments all at once. And not to mention you're diversified, you get growth, you get dividends. It's just a perfect investment. All right, now that we understand what an ETF is, now let's talk about my number one pick. Now my number one pick is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. This is just the top 500 companies in the United States that's publicly traded. I think this is just a staple index for all investors, and this is gonna be my number one choice going into the new year because we got some sell-off from the highs in 2022. So I always think it's smart to buy in on these ETFs that are at a more affordable price. And we'll have fantastic companies in there like Apple, Microsoft, Google, Home Depot, companies that you and I know of and companies that aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Now, not to mention over the past 90 years of the S&P 500, we had an average annual growth rate of about 10%. So with all the bull and bear markets, the Great Depressions, the recessions, the dot-com bubble, all that stuff, we've had an average annual return rate of 10%. So this is just a fantastic pick, very, very low risk, especially looking out 2 to 5 years. I think this is just a great one, and I'm going to be buying as much as I can. Now my number 2 pick, now this is a semiconductor ETF. Now I think semiconductors are just getting started with growth. We've seen a ton of growth out of this ETF in general, but over the past year we've gotten so much sell-off, some sell-off as much as 30%, but a lot of people like to say, well Carter, semiconductors are overvalued, computers are overvalued, tech is overvalued. Hey guys, where do you think technology is going? Do you think we're getting more dependent or less dependent? I think we are getting more and more dependent on technology each and every day. Now we all carry around these, which are pretty much just technology, right? So I think that going into 2023, I'm going to be doubling down on tech and semiconductors. Now this one here has a whole bunch of fantastic companies in it, like the Taiwan semiconductors, we have NVIDIA, and a whole bunch of other ones. We've seen an average annual growth rate of this at about 21% per year. This is going to be a little more higher risk than like the S&P 500, but with higher risk, you will have higher reward. So I definitely think looking back, 2 to 5 years, this is just going to be a great one, that I wish we would have bought more of. Now, before we jump into my third pick, make sure you guys go ahead and smash that like button right now. Smash it, subscribe to the channel so you guys can stay up to date on all of our videos. And don't forget to check out our Instagram, Investing with Carter, so you guys can stay up to date on all my reels and posts on that. All right, number 3 is ticker symbol VUG. Now this one here is just a Vanguard growth ETF. We've had an average return rate of about 13% per year. Now the difference between the Vanguard S&P 500 and the Vanguard Growth is the Vanguard Growth has a lot more stocks that are higher risk, higher reward players. So companies that are maybe not as well known, companies that have a little more speculation, companies that could have a little more growth, but on the flip side, a little more volatility. So the stock could be kind of doing a lot more squiggly lines rather than just a slow and steady upward trend. The top 3 companies that we've seen in this are Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. So all staple indexes, companies that are not going anywhere anytime soon. And we've seen a fantastic growth out of this one over the past 10 years. It's historically outperformed the S&P 500, and we get some dividends, which is awesome. Speaking of dividends, this is rolling into our number 4 pick is VIG. This is the Vanguard Growth Dividend Appreciation ETF. I know it's a lot, it's a handful, but what this one focuses on is dividend growth. It's had an average dividend yield hovering near and around 3%, so you can get some great growth. It historically has gotten about an 8% return, so not as great as the semiconductor or the S&P 500 or even the growth ETF, but what we get out of this one is that passive income, right? We get that passive income with dividend investing. So now this one here tracks all the top dividend stocks, so we'll see companies like Home Depot, Johnson & Johnson, Coca-Cola, companies that are more value, companies that don't move as much, but on the flip side, pay fantastic dividends and you'll still get some decent growth out of this. All right, now the last and final one here is one personal favor. I have not bought this one just yet, but with this one here, it's ticker symbol IWO. This is the Russell Growth 2000 ETF. So this one here really capitalizes on investing into small cap companies that could easily correlate into some high growth, high investment stocks. So what that means is, you're looking for the next Tesla, you're looking for the next Apple, Microsoft. Now this one here, obviously we've seen companies like Shockwave, Texas Roadhouse, all these companies right here that honestly I'm not sure, I've only heard of like a handful of them, but they sound awesome. So this one here, average growth rate hovers around 10%, but I think that this is just a fantastic fun one to put in your portfolio to stay diversified, have some growth, have some dividends and all that good stuff, guys. So these were the top 5 ETFs that I am buying in 2023. So I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you guys did, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. Remember to stay happy, guys, stay positive, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and take care.